run straight into the ban phase to see how things are going to work out. I'd imagine we will be seeing a Jackal departure as well as IQ for now.
So this is exactly what they banned the last time these teams played each other. They're on border, and yeah, SiNister banned IQ and then Kaid, which is not common bans on border, neither of them. So I'm starting to feel like that's a target ban towards a specific CryptiK player. I wish I could say who, but I've seen quite a few of these different players jump on the IQ before, so it could be specifically to a player who's good at entry on on IQ and maybe that utility. But what this will have an effect is it means SiNister, I guess, can have a little bit more freedom when it comes to placing Valkyrie cameras, Mozzie drones, and that.
Yeah, although I will be surprised if there will be a Valk ban as well, because we did see a fair few times when teams will be banned Thatcher and Kaid, or Thatcher and, well, Bandit not really, and I think we only seen like a singular ban. But here, everything could be happening, but this is SiNister who will be banning things out, and maybe Echo?
Okay, there you go. Okay. So I was theorizing here that maybe SiNister would go for another one of those uncommon bans like they did the IQ. Last time these teams played against each other, they even experimented with a smoke ban, which SiNister have done quite a lot in the past. They ban Jaeger, they ban smoke. They'll do these ones that you don't see very often. SiNister are a daring team like that. They don't just ban, Maestro, Echo, Mira, at least not most of the time. Mira is actually their main ban. Most frequently, they ban Mira, but CryptiK did that for them, so they're going to take Echo off the board here. Nonetheless, we get into the first round with CryptiK starting on the attacking side. They'll have to deal with whatever SiNister have to throw at them. You can't always predict which bomb site you're going to go to first here on this map, so we'll see SiNister go downstairs. CryptiK will have to make sure they have a plan ready for that.
Certainly will, and interestingly to me is that SiNister actually opted to swapping out from Bandit to Castle. So no breach denial per se, apart from Fisho's mute. So they will be able to only delay it, but not destroy it.
Maybe that's a little bit of a... picking the Bandit, that makes it look like you're playing on the Cash side. Cash is where you would mostly see Bandit. Occasionally we see Bandit on this church site to Bandit trick the church wall, but most of the time you see Bandit on Clubhouse, it's for that church wall, sorry, the Cash wall on the upstairs bomb site. So maybe that's just a little bit of a fake from SiNister, trying to hide the fact that they're bringing the castle, trying to make CryptiK think that they're attacking the top floor.
Yeah.
But it won't take long for CryptiK to figure that out, and then they'll just have to readjust their plans and make sure they have enough utility to get rid of these castle barricades. With Sophia, Buck, and Ash, I don't think that'll be a problem.
Well, for now though, we will be seeing the start of that and potentially see how this will work. This is a very open style plan, really, having castled out the bedroom as well as some of the bar side. It could definitely give SiNister some movement room, but I'm not too sure how well will it work against CryptiK, because CryptiK are seeming to be bringing in a very somewhat stock standard but a very effective set of operators, really, as well.
Yeah, I think it'll come a lot down to the droning and entry from CryptiK, because as you mentioned, this is a very heavy roam for SiNister. If CryptiK can cut off the rotations back to the bomb site and start to flush out these roamers, it certainly could work well. But SiNister's a team with players that want to take these gunfights, and if CryptiK give it to him, Copper's certainly going to chew it up.
Certainly could be the case. Fisho Guy and Copper, like you just pointed out, are going to be the ones to be roaming up above. Not Nico, who is on Vigil, who would probably be a bit more useful for this sort of job. But I'm curious to see how will this push and how will the defenders react to this, because usually in this case, whenever the breach already starts happening and the push is happening with the fraggers as well, that's when you need to start bailing out.
Just trying to pinch these players upstairs. It's Jam on entry right now. He does have Pro League experience under his belt. And he gets the final shot into Fisher that's needed. A great job from CryptiK to cut the roamers down. But there, Jam does finally get Nico as well. He was allowed to find the buck, but fortunately for CryptiK, they contain these roamers and eliminate them before they can do too much damage.
So the open floor plan didn't really work for SiNister so far. One person anchoring on the site, that is the castle, and Luna still on the roam. She could potentially pull off a nice flank if CryptiK won't be too knowledgeable about her position, but at the same time, right now, Vicious is about to get pressured very quickly.
CryptiK do have that numbers advantage. If they use it to refrag onto this player in church, they could completely take control of site. They've taken down Luna now. It's just the one player of Vicious left, and the UMP is an unenviable weapon to be having in this position. He can take one down, but CryptiK, a very convincing round here on that roam clear, taking our first map, or first round of the map here on Clubhouse.
That was a very swift, I gotta admit. They managed to read in quite well into the roam game of SiNister. Managed to pretty much approach it pitch perfectly, albeit that it was technically for the roam game clear. It was the jam show, really.
He did a great job. I mean, his purpose here was to start pushing on down and cut off these, start to funnel the SiNister players back down the stairs.
Yeah.
And he did that with picking up one kill and then cutting off the Vigil on the second kill. For SiNister, it's just a bit weird for me. This is clearly something that they should be good at. That's something they've practiced, but they were never ready. They never really took any gunfights. They're always shot in the back.
Yeah, that was certainly a good point, Dev, as yeah, we will be seeing them though not prompting out of trying to retry the church and arsenal. We'll be coming back to the CCTV and cache like initially they probably were baiting for, in hopes of trying to potentially bring this back. No bandit once again, but Kayed will be the play here for SiNister to attempt to just have a remote, as much safer attempt at the breach denial.
Yeah, it's funny actually looking at CryptiK. We didn't talk about this last round, but they didn't bring the Hibana. And on this bomb site, or not on this bomb site so much, but on the other bomb site, the one we saw just before, Church Arsenal, you've got 3 hatches that you really kind of need to get. Plus you've got dirt, plus you've got Church Wall, all of these hard breach areas that you really want to be exposing. And you've only got the Thermite, which has the potential to breach 2 of those surfaces. Maybe CryptiK, I don't know, why are they bringing so many soft breaches and no Hibana? That's the question for me. Ash and Zafir, bit of a double up. Buck, well, that's a triple up. Is
Pretty
that
sure
really
they had
necessary?
a Maverick. Wait, no, Maverick got
Maverick's
banned.
banned. So this is the exact same lineup they ran last round, which is making me think even more so that CryptiK expected that last round to be a cache bomb site rather than Church, what we saw.
Well, one way or another, it did work out pretty well, all things considered, managing to out completely any attempt at roam game, albeit, yeah, Nico ended up getting a kill, but it got straight away traded. I'm curious about this position of Fisho, because any attempt at aggressive push could potentially be shut down from the main entrance, and oh, that is a very peculiar spot.
Fisho guy dancing with death here. He does see the buck. He wants to go for these shots. He lands one. That's striking going down. Just about 40 HP's worth with the slug. Good idea there from SiNister. They're always playing aggressively on these cheeky peek hole angles. But now it's up to Copper to hold down Garage.
And with the 416 carbine, this could very much happen if he manages to land his shots. But the jam on Zafia has been able to pull off some very nutty flicks, but he is pretty low on health as well. So a few shots will be able to down him, if not just kill him, really. And
One bullet from that 416 is enough, so I'm really worried if I'm Jam here. You won't have the confidence on that peak.
I like how Jam just tempted on that idea of peeking and just instantly regretted, like, nope, I'm just going to get back onto droning. I'll let the Buck do the actual shooting part.
Both of them have been taken low as well. Fisho's guy is here to support Copper as well. In fact, a lot of downstairs presence from SiNister, not really any progress from CryptiK, which is a bit... I don't know. I gotta see something more from CryptiK if I'm gonna have faith on this round.
This is a much more confident hold though from SiNister comparative to what we saw in the first round as well.
SiNister are just waiting for CryptiK to come to them, waiting and ready. CryptiK are starting to think about how they want to take this. They're opening up avenues into Garage, making sure no one's gonna play Lounge, but they've used all of their hard breach and they still haven't flushed out these key positions.
And right now, Sushi's completely unaware about the Kayed as well. There are shots coming out from the Slug shotgun, but he's completely oblivious to that position of the Kayed. Won't be able to net himself a single kill, but the control of the Garage has been... Whoop, just as I said that, control of the Garage has not been taken, really, and Copper is still up above and still fragging out. His position has been revealed. And I do believe the breach did happen, but the peek will be securing a double kill! How is that even allowed at this point? But finally the peek from Jam will be able to get things going, but Nico is already on the case. Just like that, SiNister showing once a return back to what we initially expected them to have the type of form.
CryptiK absolutely fell up against that brick wall of SiNister's Garage defense. Copper, he didn't need to peek for so long. He wasn't given any opportunity for a gunfight by CryptiK, and then as soon as push came to shove, Copper was keen to take those fights. Keen and eager. He got a 3K on the back of that. So a really good hold from SiNister, but more so no way that CryptiK would address that. They didn't really have any I mean, all of the plans that they had in mind, they weren't executed upon.
Yeah, it seems that every time CryptiK were attempting to go for a poke around and see where they can push, it was just completely denied by SiNister's players. And I definitely do have to say that play by Fisho as a Kayad assisting Copper from the downstairs was definitely working out quite well, because that was able to, one, delay the push into the supply room, which Fisho had a really nice tight angle there, as well as the fact that even after the breach was done, he was still able to keep dealing damage to the Thermite as well, which pretty much sealed the deal as well on the quick kill for Copper.
Yeah, and that slug shotgun does do a lot of damage, so he's just going for body shots, just going for damage, especially in a situation like trying to take that garage. You want to be peeking up against this, the Jaeger up top. You need a lot of HP for that. You can't be 20, 30 HP taking that gunfight. It's just not going to work. So we do see SiNister head over to the bedroom and gym sites. We will see some presence in cache and information outside thanks to Luna's Valkyrie cameras. Of course, IQ has been banned by SiNister, so it's not likely they'll spot a lot of these Valkyrie cameras placed outside.
Well, CryptiK so far were able to spot most of them fairly quickly, so not like the IQ ban really is phasing CryptiK away, really, with that choice. I am, though, curious about the remaining of the plays, because CryptiK are still bringing the very same roster, same set of operators, and I'm pretty sure that's about the same placing of the operators to players. Whereas on the side of SiNister, they are switching things around, bringing newer ops for each one of the sites, and it seems that even with the gym bedroom, they still prompting to go for a bit of that breach denial as well.
Need to open up this cache room wall. Rather CCTV wall, and it's not going to be too hard for CryptiK. The bandit of Fisho guy did retreat, so he wasn't going to actively bandit trick that place. Still, we're pretty short on hard breach again, so trying to flush out this position inside a cache will be a bit difficult. That said, a nice entry from Striking nets him that first kill. He's refragged through the wall. No, that was up through from below through supply. Great job from Fisho guy, and CryptiK, they've taken some ground, but they're still not quite sure. And a C4 could work wonders, but great cover from JC to shut down Fisho guy. CryptiK finally looking to make a reply here.
I'm liking what I'm seeing right now for CryptiK. The moment they lost the person, they switch it around, have an active roam watch, and managed to out it pretty quickly. So right now they have a good ground. They only lost a singular person, which was Striking on Buck. Whereas on the side of SiNister, already trading out 2 of the players, could potentially spell win within a round for CryptiK, but it's still a minute to go.
Still a lot of work to be done for CryptiK, but they've taken some really good ground. We saw the effect of these Valkyrie cameras as well. It almost got Fisho guy a C4 kill through the floor. That Valkyrie camera inside a cache was eventually taken out, but it's up to SiNister now to hold their ground. CryptiK really have to start making a move here. It doesn't look like they've opened up that jacuzzi wall, which is going to allow SiNister a lot more freedom of rotations.
Yeah, but talking about the freedom of rotations right now, Serum, the one trying to peek into the window to have an open angle, won't be able to actually get any closure right now. Nico with that Alda is doing some fantastic job, but will be shut down finally by Sushi, who is seeing a PL debut here.
15 seconds though. Luna's below, ready to kill anyone who tries to jump in through this window. A flashbang is greatly placed, but she does take down the diffuser planter anyway. C4 now on diffuser. It's a 2 versus 1, 2 versus none. Lovely job there from Luna from below, and SiNister do take that bedroom defense.
Even when a man disadvantaged, even when the technical control of the site has been completely forfeited to CryptiK, play from below from Luna was actually a very well timed and very well executed, especially that C4. After she pre-placed it, she just probably either based it off the final just call or just timed it pretty well.
She also did throw that camera outside right at the start of the round. I wouldn't be surprised if that camera was still up late into the round and then utilized to give her the call of when the second player jumped inside. But overall, a really great job from SiNister. It did get pretty close because CryptiK did take down 2 of the SiNister players nice and early at the start. That said, I really like overall what SiNister did. They always seem to have information. They never seem to be making plays based on a lack of information, and I really like that round.
Yeah, it was certainly something that they managed to read in pretty well, all things considered. And CryptiK, even after making a few pretty strong statements, at least from when I was talking with the coach, about how their prep was going up, it seems that SiNister are being always one step ahead of the CryptiK roster, even when some of the roam game is a bit clumsy, even when the site is technically being taken by the attacking team. Always seems that SiNister are still back in the controlling seat.
Yeah, SiNister didn't have such a great roam on the first round of this map, though, and that was when they were defending this bomb site, Church and Arsenal. They'll go back down to that bomb site. Looks like they do have roamers as well, but they haven't got the same lineup. Nico's moved over to the Maestro. They're not relying so heavily on the operative picks such as Vigil and Castle to enable this roam. Maybe they're going for a bit more of just a free roam upstairs. Fisho and Copper delay as much time as they can. The rest of the team, no, okay, Fisho's going to come back downstairs as well. So maybe it's just Copper going to try to delay time for as long as he can. No, okay, 5-man turtle. 5 players on the objective. Nice idea here for SiNister. They've realized that they are struggling on this roam game, but CryptiK do waste so much time when they have to deal with these issues of breaking into the site.
Yeah, we saw a plentiful amount of teams that actually did go for a full turtle strat, but they always had a little bit of that backup, maybe having like a pulse or something just to keep up the active info gathering. But that's not the case here for SiNister. They do have, though, all the means to actually deny some of the breaches.
And the info gathering as well. As you mentioned, CryptiK want to drone out the entire map and check where these roamers are. Of course, there are no roamers, but CryptiK can't know that because of these mute jammers in some of the key areas upstairs, which is going to waste a lot of CryptiK's time. Minute 15's off the clock so far, and they still don't have that information.
Yeah, that is a very good way about it, because you can pretty much fake it around and force the attacking team think that, hey, there might be roamers. There are already mute jammers all around all the roaming areas that they were at before, and first round did actually see us playing against them, their roam game. So maybe this could be the case here, but it seems that CryptiK already settled with that thought about here, and we'll be just going in for the breach.
And again, I don't understand the lack of a Hibana here for CryptiK. They're only going to have one more thermite charge, and especially when you're worrying about things like these impact grenades, these Cade Electroclaws, your hard breach is incredibly vulnerable. They've already used one on the Moto hatch. That means the second one they're likely going to use on this church wall, but there are impact grenades and Cade charges that can deny that. Striking looks to be trying to cover this angle, cheeky little angle from above, but he's in a very vulnerable position as well. This angle does work both ways. He'll try to throw a grenade. It's a difficult one to pull off, and he misses.
Yeah, that grenade thankfully wasn't too cooked, so whoever was right at the base of the stairs was able to dodge it out. But the Texan Dynamite will be denied.
Good night.
Unfortunately.
That's the last thermite charge. That's it. All you got. You didn't bring a Hibana to get the hatch open, so you only got one shot and it's gone. 20 seconds left. This is looking incredibly grim for CryptiK. They'll have to just head on inside and see what they can do. SiNister, though, are in the driver's seat, making everything happen. CryptiK can't even scare away with 1 kill in the last 15. It's a flawless round for SiNister.
Fantastic turn of events overall so far. CryptiK just can't seem to be able to get a single good play from themselves.
Just bring a Hibana.
It certainly seems like, yeah, Hibana could definitely be a good solution here as well. Albeit that potentially with the way how so far CryptiK played it out, even the Hibana wouldn't have really helped.
I mean, it just means that they have a little bit more flexibility for the hard breach. They could have opened up more angles. They could have tried to open up kitchen hatch. They could have wasted some of the impact grenades from the defenders while that was happening. It's,
well, they could have, they should have, they didn't so far.
Yeah, maybe that'll be an adaptation later on, but doesn't seem to be something they'll implement just yet. For this cache CCTV, you don't need the Hibana as much. The lots of soft breach is pretty good on this bomb site, same for the bedroom, but when you're heading downstairs, it's definitely one you want to be having. Get that as much hard breach as possible.
Look at that Nook set, by the way. It's so shiny.
Shiny Pro League sets.
I reckon Nook's Pro League set is actually one of the nicest ones.
Yeah, I think the other one that I've seen a lot of people really like is the Mozzie one.
Yeah, actually, Mozzie one is actually quite nice and clean as well.
Mozzie Elite when? We need a Mozzie Elite, which is just Magnet from Fnatic.
I'm not too sure if Magnet would appreciate
I'm
that.
not sure
that
he
meme
would.
as well.
I'm sure he would love to be in the game.
But
Ozzy is a cool dude.
what I am waiting for, though, Chunker. When's the Chunker Elite with the tracksuit? Please, I need that. I need that in my life. And meanwhile, though, what is needed in life for SiNister is those frags.
Man!
And he had the drop. Fisher guy just can't seem to finish up the deal, but still managing to deal plentiful amount of damage to Sushi.
And that's the thermite.
And that's the thermite, yeah. So they will be scared away, just away from that temptation of the peeking the garage. And with the door opened up, this is open area for the defense to go for the spawn peaks.
I feel like SiNister went on a retreat and just learned how to abuse these little bullet holes, because I've seen every single round at least one person from SiNister is doing this tiny little peek through a bullet hole.
Pretty sure that is like we saw at least 2 times it was Fisher that was setting everything up. Before it was Kayed, now it's Doc. And honestly, both of the teams are working out very, very well in regards to just how they set things up. Vicious is tagged up quite substantially, but so is Sushi. So right now comes the question, can they actually bring this back?
Yeah, Sushi is the player you don't want to be losing here. He took a bit of damage on the spawn peak. He's the only one with hard breach. He's going to get bandit tricked. No, the great Zephyr charge. Perfectly placed. And there you have the bandit trick denied. A great job from CryptiK, keeping up with the meta, utilizing that Zephyr trick perfectly.
And with Jam being the point man really here for that breach, he might be able to catch a couple of SiNister players off rotation, because that Doc is still in the garage and he's still holding it steadfast, but I don't think CryptiK will be even prompting to go for that peak, really. Curious to see how will they approach this push, because right now with time slowly running out, they'll need to be extra cautious about where they're going to poke at it. And it seems that Copper will be punishing them straight away from here. And Luna is already so tempted to go here. She wants to go for that run out. And Jam on the drone right now could exactly catch the bullet here.
Elsewhere, the Copper is finally hunted down and finished off. Doesn't look like CryptiK yet have control of the garage. In fact, they may well not be opting to go for it. Sushi wants to open up this angle from the construction wall. Flashbang's going over. That's going to telegraph what he's doing, but a frag grenade's going to help out a little bit as well. Sushi should get that Texan Dynamite off successfully, and now we have 2 avenues for CryptiK to use onto the bomb site.
That is very well played as well. Finally, they will have a couple of angles to hold, but it seems that if Nico is not even fazed by that fact. Sushi to go down, albeit that Thermite was quite teched up substantially, and Luna to get rid of striking. Things are looking all well for SiNister so far, and just about to hit the 4-1 scoreline. There it is. Vicious and Nico to close things out, and it seems that SiNister are quite gunning for those points. They want to get out of that relegation.
Yeah, last time these guys played each other, it was a SiNister victory, fairly decisively on board a 7-1. The second map, Cafe, was very close, 8-7, but SiNister did take that best of 3 series 2-0. So they are definitely the favored team in this series, but there are a lot of people out there, I think, expecting more from CryptiK. This is a team that we saw come out of the gate swinging in the Pro League. Since we've had the results against Power Players wiped, they haven't looked that good, but certainly better than SiNister. And SiNister have had a rough start to the Pro League so far. CryptiK been through some roster changes. They unfortunately didn't make it to LAN for the 6 Masters, only got knocked out in the group stage. This is really their time to say, look, we earned our spot here in the Pro League and we deserve to keep it. They need, if they want to prove that, if they want to make that statement, they really need to step up here and take a fight to SiNister here.
Certainly do. And in my opinion as well, I was actually quite surprised when we did make a return back to the Pro League.
And you got to keep those legs nice and pro.
Nice and pro, yeah. The Pro League return was definitely had me surprised that SiNister was still on just only single point.
I feel like this season we really expected more out of SiNister, especially you know, they got their pickup of the Team SiNister organization, which has supported them quite a lot.
Yeah.
SiNister's been in Rainbow Six for quite a long time with North American teams, not in the Pro League, and now they've decided to pick up a Pro League team here in ANZ. SiNister haven't quite, I think, reached that point that they wanted.
Yeah, but they've been consistently within the Pro League as well. They were still hanging around, like, yeah, not the highest points in the leaderboard, but they were always consistently right there in the middle.
Yeah, they haven't been relegated for 3 seasons running, and they've stayed in that Pro League that whole time.
Yeah, but after so many roster changes, things at the moment might be looking up. I've been chanting away when Nico has been placed as a sub/content creator for SiNister. I kept on saying, just put him on core. You'll see him actually benefit the team. And seeming to be working out quite well, because even as well for MEO, there was a big point that for most of the SiNister roster, it was the first LAN, but Nico already was technically a veteran, being that he played for Darksided a while ago.
And now we get into this next round. Only one more left in the half on SiNister's defense. CryptiK really would like, surely, to get one more on here before they head on to their own defensive side. So they'll bring out the Lion. That's JCZ. Taking control of this CCTV and cache side of the map first. We saw CryptiK did this really well last time. They got 2 picks. There's the first one. A second one is down. So this might actually look really good for CryptiK once again. My question is, can they follow up past this position?
Yeah, well, that will be the grand question here. Vicious is tagged up quite substantially, so the push might commence, but at the very least, I believe Vicious might be able to run away with at least a single kill here, which could potentially throttle up the push of CryptiK, considering the fact that before we saw plenty of times when CryptiK had the 1 or 2 man advantage and they were still unable to get any closure on the round.
So CryptiK do have that map control now. They'll try to advance through construction. They haven't, I don't believe, opened up that west side jacuzzi wall, which really cuts off a lot of rotations. They didn't. Okay, they're going to try that now. Thermite heads over, tries to open up this jacuzzi wall. He'll need Serum to clear the bandit batteries. Fisher guy's still alive and could potentially bandit trick here. Only 1 EMP left, so he has to make good on it. There's a bit of time left, and it looks like 2 of the players will try to push through Logistic.
Yeah, with the drone already showing the position of Nico, Nico's position might be very much expendable, but dedicating 2 players for that push is definitely not what you want right now. Fisher got to take out striking, so that is minus Buck. And with Nico's position, he still is very powerful here. That Older should be able to deal so much damage, and the rotation hole would prove an escape route for the SiNister player.
Nico does have a safe area, but there's a great flank on for Fisho Guy. This could completely pull apart CryptiK. Can he get the kill with the Bailiff? He didn't even want to go for the reload on the Alder, and CryptiK falling apart. Sushi wants to go for that plant. No world is that going to happen. 2 left, no time, had nothing going for him. We're going to head to the second half. SiNister up 5 rounds.
See what I'm saying though, Dev? Like, CryptiK has a very good start. They will be able to, they can find those entry kills, they can clear out the roam, but past that first round, they were fumbling around close to the end. They spending either too much time on setting up some of the points, or they just, I don't know, maybe it's a miscommunication issue as well here, because all of those rounds, like a bunch of them, were CryptiK's for the taking.
Yeah,
at least 2.
I reckon even the first round, like CryptiK had a pretty good roam clear, and SiNister just, as soon as they lost on that roam, they're like, okay, let's not try to do that anymore. We know that they're good at, we know that we're clearly not as good as them when we're in those situations, those roam situations. So yeah, let's just let them have stuff, because their time management is really terrible. In this game, CryptiK's time management has really been the death of them time and time again. And I think that SiNister is starting to learn that, starting to play around that. Obviously, things are going to change drastically now that we head into the second half with CryptiK on their defense. And I'd hope that CryptiK should feel a little bit more at home here. My main concern for them is if they want to take this as a win, they're going to have to win all of their defenses round. And even a draw is looking unlikely at this point.
Yeah, with that in mind, I definitely would have to agree with you here, Dev. SiNister certainly looking like they might be grabbing this first map pretty quickly, all things considered. Like you said before, and you were chanting, they did bring a secondary hard breach.
Only SiNister though, yeah.
Only SiNister, yeah.
CryptiK weren't so keen on the Hibana. I'm a bit biased. I love Hibana as an operator.
Yeah, Hibana main.
But
only after Noarengo skin came out as well.
No comment. The Noarengo skin is amazing. So is the Hibana Elite. It's one of the hardest decisions I have playing Rainbow Six is which one of those to use.
Just Nora all the way.
Yeah.
So, support the teams.
Yeah, absolutely. So to talk about CryptiK for a moment, though, they are playing aggressive. They have a lot of 3 speeds with good guns, Vigil, Alibi, Jaeger, and they've got this Clash as well to gain information.
I'm not too sold yet on their Clash, considering the fact how they played during the attack. I don't think the shield operator will be able to solve their problems, considering the fact that Fisher is bringing in the frag grenades in here as well. And Copper will be able to play uncontested Jackal, who will be able to be a gigantic pain in the butt for CryptiK.
This frag could be great, and it does do a little bit of damage. Not enough, but surely that's going to scare away these CryptiK guys. SiNister are a team that for a long time they've loved to play this Dokkaebi, and her getting grenades in this most recent update, I feel like that's just going to add to that. SiNister have so much counter roam potential with this Dokkaebi and Jackal to hunt these roamers, and I think that really is going to put the pressure onto CryptiK.
Certainly seems to start like it. There's the second Inox usage. Come on, Copper. You can do it. Just hold steady the F button. You can do it. Finally did. So there's the info on one of the anchoring players, but no positioning on the blue tunnel, which is, I think, was his intention initially.
Yeah, SiNister are absolutely reading into CryptiK playing aggressive. Well, at least they're thinking that CryptiK's going to play aggressive. You can see how passive Copper was on those angles. Always expecting, what if someone's even closer than that, playing even more aggressive. CryptiK, when they're on the back foot like this is the time when they need to start playing aggressive. They need to take the fight to SiNister on the defense, but it's going to be so difficult to do that while SiNister is expecting it and bring all these operators to counter that aggression.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a challenge, but 53 seconds left to go. I'm curious how will the time management work out here for SiNister as well, because not a single kill has been dealt.
Oh, wallbang! How do you make that happen? That's so beautiful there for Copper. Just great recoil control, and surely that really gives him a bit of confidence.
Oh, that certainly will, because that's the, well, any attempt to impact trick, because that was the Vigil with the impacts gone. So now it's all up to striking to try to pull things off. Clash should be able to relay plentiful amount of information as well as slow things down, but it doesn't seem like it's phasing anything. There's the turnaround and just a quick flawless round from SiNister to put them on the match point. Things are looking all well and nice and tidy for SiNister, whereas on the side of CryptiK, no comment on this one, really.
If you're a SiNister fan, you've got to be really happy right now, though. Everything is going right for them, and they're playing really well about it. We got some key differences between how these two teams are playing their attacks. Not only did SiNister, for one, the obvious one, they brought a Hibana. They opened up more avenues. They opened up the pretty much all the hatches that they could need. I don't know if they opened up the blue hatch, but it wouldn't even matter.
No, they didn't even need the blue hatch.
Exactly. They opened up the bar hatch, they opened up the kitchen hatch into stock. We saw that's how Luna got down so quickly. And even the micro plays, right? We had CryptiK at the end. Sushi was playing really aggressive on that clash. SiNister was the Dokkaebi Fisher guy. He was like, okay, you're going to play aggressive. I'm just going to go and shoot your teammate. I'm just going to run inside and shoot your teammate. What are you going to do about it? He tries to go for a bit of a swivel, and that doesn't even work. Like,
well, it defended him. Well, it defended the clash
for like an extra
from the
second.
initial burst of damage out the front. But I don't think the expectation of Luna dropping down straight away was there as well.
It was a 1v5.
Yeah,
that's never going to happen. I've heard it said before that when you play the clash, you put the pressure on all of the rest of your teammates to frag out. Yeah. If you have a shield in front of your face, and this goes for all of the shields that really you're not focusing on killing, if all of your teammates, if they're confident maybe getting 1 kill per round, suddenly that extra pressure, the lack of the frags that you're going to be finding because you're playing that shield, that supportive position where you're not going to be taking those fights, everyone else needs to step it up. And I don't think CryptiK has that right now. Not tonight.
Well, with that in mind, though, CryptiK potentially might be on the last round to attempt to bring themselves back, maybe, but JC will be already going down to a spawn peak. And that is not what you need right now.
Oh,
there's a grenade to kick things off, and that is, I believe, that is a double kill as well. Fisher guy just decides, yeah, let me really quickly punish you for that. Make it, rub in the salt as much as possible, and that drone will confirm that there will be a double kill.
Man, and I do love that Cloud9 outfit for Valkyrie, but it just didn't save him, did it?
You love to see those coconuts.
Yeah, oh man, Fisher guy. I'm sure as soon as you read the patch notes and saw Dokkaebi frags, hallelujah.
Yoink.
So things are working really nicely for SiNister. 2 early picks, just based on the fact of 1 player from CryptiK spawn peeking and then a great follow-up with the nade. CryptiK had a lot of players spawn peeking though. It was also striking on the Legion, trying to find something. And CryptiK, at the end of that, they get no kills and they lose 2 players.
Yeah. Well, For now, already the breach will be starting to happen. B-side has completely forfeited now to SiNister, with CryptiK already losing yet another player to Fisho's SMG-12. Batted off the board, leaving Striking and Jam to clutch things up. Jam, yes, he is a very great player, but I don't think he will be able to withstand the whole onslaught of all 5 players of CryptiK. Pardon, SiNister.
5v2, no players on site. One guy in garage, one guy striking, just rotating back to site now. Jam is not long for this world as well. And now SiNister, I think they've realized they have control of site. They just run on inside. Fisho guys, Christmas, and that's the game. Like, it started, and then it went over, and now it's done.
Not a single chance was given to CryptiK to actually bring this back. SiNister were all the way, except for maybe the first round, in the power seat really here. And
7 straight rounds.
7 straight rounds in a row. Last time we saw a similar storyline or case was when Fury won over Fnatic on Cafe, which was flawless defense.
And that was a near flawless defense from SiNister, followed up by an impeccable set of attacks. There was no chance for CryptiK. At what point did we think, okay, maybe CryptiK can win this? Like,
well, okay.
There were so few moments.
On my end, I was thinking the reason that CryptiK would have been able to make it at least close was the fact that they had a transition